Hey guys, it's Jacqueline. I just got back from the gym. I am all sweaty. I have not pampered myself. Usually when I make videos, it's on my work days. And on my days off, I work out and I do stuff around the house. So I am not wearing any makeup or even dressed for making a video. But I was on a whim and I decided I was going to make a video. And so I had two topics I wanted to discuss. I wanted to go more into all these new identities that people are identifying as, such as bigender, which is now a new thing that I haven't discovered, but for myself I found. So bigender is a new thing, and then I was going to discuss the people that got super triggered at my last video, and it's the gay men and the cisgender people, and I find it fascinating that all the people in the comments that decided to come along and start, they automatically insult. So and either they are a cis woman or they are a man that's like into trans women that like looks at us and follows us, and there's a reason that we get pulled up in their algorithm, is because they've searched for it before. So obviously they're into it. However, when you I wouldn't say insult. When you call cisgender people out for not being allies to trans people, they get very triggered. And it's always, whatever they fall back on, always falls back on that I am not a woman. I will always look like a man. I'll always be a man. And that's the same kind of insults that they did right off the back. They never actually get into the conversation or discuss experiences that trans people have with gay people or with cisgender people. So a lot of times, but now we've gotten to the point where our terminology is so defined, like the word cisgender. Like someone made a comment, said, "You will never be cisgender. You will never be, a woman. You are a trans woman, and that's it," which means you will never be a woman. So it's interesting now that we've dissected all our genders into these little compartments, which I would say is actually done by the trans community itself, or the LGBTQ community. We've dissected things and identities so defined and so minuscule that it's actually become a problem, because now cisgender people are like, well, yeah, but you're not cisgender. You are a trans person, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with being any of these things. But their underlying intention of it is that, for me directly, is that I'm not a woman because I'm not cisgender. And so it's taking the word woman and turning into cisgender, and I am just trans now. So I'm a trans. It's like that. It's fascinating that our terminology is actually worked. It's completely gone around, and it's damaging the trans community. See, when I first transitioned, I transitioned to be a woman. Like that was my intention. There was no cisgender or anything, 15 years ago when I first started getting into it. All you had was drag queens, and the trans people that you knew would try and go into hiding. They would take hormones and they would try and disappear into hiding. And it was very rare that you actually saw a trans person out living their life. I mean, there was a few, but it was very, very rare. Plus, not a lot of places would employ trans people. Anyway, so as far as that's my one topic. I think our terminology has actually, the way we've dissected it and tried to perfect it, has actually become a weapon of people who are transphobic or, any kind of phobia against the LGBTQ people. They've used our own weapons against us. It's smart. It's the only way you can do it. So if you look at my last video and you go into the comments, they always attack me for not looking like a real woman or the fact that I'm not cisgender. So if anybody gives me shit that I'm not a woman, it's because I'm not cisgender. It's fascinating. Anyway, the other topic was a new terminology that I just discovered a week ago. I mean, I didn't know that this was a thing because, I knew there was non-binary, and then I knew there was, now there's, hold on, what was it? Bigender. Okay, so now we have bigender, and it's people who identify just randomly daily. They can change it daily. They can identify as a man one day, and they can identify as a woman the next. And these people usually tend to have very minimal surgery done, or they get certain things, I'm guessing, but hormones are usually not a thing. But they just, And that's what makes it so difficult for people to understand, because now people have gotten on board with cisgender and transgender, but now you have bigender, which is okay. So let me put it this way: non-binary people, and usually people that dissect terminology to such a fine point, they don't believe in the gender spectrum, as in male and female. So the binary is, in their theory of gender stuff, the binary shouldn't exist. And they think that there is, hundreds of, well, whatever, how many genders there are. What do they say, like 33 or some shit like that? So, so now we have people who they believe in their core theory that the binary shouldn't exist, but then they're bigender, which doesn't make sense, because if you're bigender, you have to believe in the binary to begin with. So evidently, I am a binary trans woman. That's what I've been told by everyone, is that I am a binary trans woman because I look and act and I dress like a woman. So let me put it this way: the majority of my clothing, and I'm not kidding, is men's clothes. I just wear it in a more of a butch woman sort of way, because I don't like the foo-foo shit anymore. I just don't. So the clothing does not maketh the woman. It really doesn't. I mean, it is who you are in your core. So when I transitioned, I knew that I was a woman to begin with. And there's no such thing as cisgender or anything like that. My goal was to be a woman. But then as time's gone on, to be more inclusive of transgender people, we've come up with terms like cisgender and transgender and so on and so forth, the umbrella terminologies. And then we have our sexual orientation, which we identify as all sorts of things. And so now we've compartmentalized ourselves so intensely that we've almost completely lost the goal to begin with. I find it really interesting. So people automatically think that, I mean, like if you look at people who insult trans people, they usually go straight for the fact that A, they don't look like a woman, which doesn't matter in my theory. Like, you either are a woman or you're not. And so if you are, then you live your life as a woman and you commit to the woman lifestyle, the female lifestyle. Because I do believe in the binary. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, I believe in man and I believe in woman. And I think as time's gone on, we've just overcomplicated the whole damn thing. And I think for people not committing to a transition, people not taking hormones, people not living their life as the gender that they are, I guess their chosen gender. I don't like saying that, because I believe they are the gender that they identify as. So as time's gone on, we and people don't take hormones, people don't actually transition, but they identify as all these little different things, and now they are they're not actually transitioning. There is no transition. They're literally just dressing slightly different. Maybe they'll grow their armpit hair out, but they get very offended when people don't respect their gender identity that they're not identifying as. I find it really interesting. But so, yeah, I've created well, the issue is, so you have people who get very insulted when trans people call out cis people for not accepting them as the gender they identify as, and they've used our terminology against us. And then you have our people that attack each other because we are not compartmentalizing every tiny little aspect of our lives. And so I feel like we're looping all the way back around again, where we've weakened ourselves as a community, because it seems so superficial that it's almost loses its importance in a way, because there's just so many different identities and there's so many things, and it's overcomplicated the whole thing. I find it really interesting. Anyway, as far as I go, I mean, I just like to think of myself as a woman. I mean, I don't have any surgery. I've never had any work done. I've never had any facial feminization. I've never had anything like that done. I let the hormones do their work. And I exercise to get where I want to. And, but then people tell me, oh, well, you have passing privilege. I'm like, no, I've just been living my life as a woman for almost 15 years now. And that all the things that I am come with living as a woman for that time. I mean, yes, I've had laser hair removal, and I take care of my skin, and I do stuff like that. But, these are things that most women do anyway. Anyway, Hope everyone's doing well, and I hope y'all have a great weekend. And I'm finishing this under 10 minutes. All right, bye.